With 290 entries, this promised to be an exciting double nationals. As it turned out, it certainly lived up to that promise. Last year, the 112th and 110th on-road Nats were held in Dallas with a very poor turnout in 112th and not much better in 110th. This year, the racers were held at the popular Ranch Pit Shop in Pomona, California, site of many big races. The pit shop crew had done a great job preparing the track.
Who put this car together? Did you?
Yeah.
Kind of awesome to be able to do it in that short a time and then do that. Good.
Last week, right to the kit car, right?
No fun at all, huh? Can't do no hop-ups, nothing?
He's doing good. He's in second place.
Sounds like your team should have done that too.
He's all by himself in that third spot.
That's my dig for the weekend.
Jim is being pushed around the track by the 9 car, the big yellow number 9 car, and that's Larry Waddell.
Fortunately, I'm still putting a number 2 on this car.
We've got 2:15.
Unfortunately.
You know how many guys here?
Must be softer than yours.
Yeah.
Puts the pedal down. I think
Third place? Third? Man.
Not bad for Florida.
Guys from Florida pretty fast, huh? Where's your car? Oh, I got to get the car.
45 seconds to go. 3 car is your leader. 1 car in second place, starting to close in. Your third place car is the number 4 car, correct ground. And your leader. Looks like we're going to have a battle for that lead. Here he comes down front straight away. 3 car still your leader. 1 car closing in. He's only about 10 feet behind him now.
Pretty ugly, huh?
We got 30
Great, great. How'd the car feel?
It's great.
Pretty good so far.
Easy to drive?
Just a little bit in the last one.
I know you got the power.
Yeah.
This power is awesome. I like that kind of stuff, huh? Yeah.
What's going to win?
Hey, be careful what speed secrets you give out here, okay?
Pardon me?
Be careful what speed secrets you give out here.
I don't have any to give. I'm looking to get some.
Come on.
Second place, car number 3, Chuck Vandeweghe. Third place, what's the number 4 car?
You got to figure it out, Chris?
Coming in 4th place, car number 9, Larry
Who's got
Waddell.
heat sinks on the batteries? Am I behind that far behind already? I don't even know what's going on. Huh?
Car number 5.
Those are definitely hot.
Hot batteries. My God.
8th place, car number 8,
They're cool, don't they?
Really does.
Sure looks neat.
It's a unit.
It looks racy.
There was a heat sink compound between the...
It's real aerodynamic too. All that dead air up under the body, it channels it right back there where we want it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Give me a minute and I'll come up with a better lie than that, Jim.
A-Main Detect, A-Main Stock Detective, A-Main Stock Detective. All right, we're moving to the B-Main.
Chris Dosek's Space Age RC12L car has heat sinks on everything, including speed control, batteries, and the cam motor.
Did you, Mike, did you tell me that Ernie's coming to Associated tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so.
I just wanted to know if I was welcome there. I don't want Roger to throw me out.
Well, what I was going to ask Mike is if we removed all the dartboards yet.
I don't know, Gina, you finished using them?
Oh, let's have some fun.
We having fun or what?
Yeah. You need to come to Trinity.
No way.
Can't be a bad
They start throwing them at me.
No, it's not as bad as green marks.
Oh, the fun of Pomona.
Who's that guy?
Multiple pictures.
Huh? Did you make a wrong turn somewhere? Huh?
The right turn.
Yeah, right.
He was lost on a dead end.
Second place is the 2 car.
So how come you're not running? We got that's the off-road section at the other end. It's all off-roaders down there. They don't know what they're doing out there. There's no jump. They don't know what to do.
Sure there are. There are a bunch of yellow ones out there.
Yeah, well maybe that's what they're using them for. You got a good point there. Got the car all ready to go. You eat it all at once? That's not the plan, huh?
Yeah, you had some fun.
Well, Ron told me you two guys were over there keeping them up all hours
We
of the
came
night.
up and watched the James Brown concert at midnight.
Enjoy that one, huh?
Finally wore them
And
out.
then about the time it comes on, it goes off. His cable goes off.
All right.
Is the cable broke or something?
Well, no, he's got. I think they like every once in a while they'll clear the decoder thing.
Oh.
You have to have a jammer thing to break
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So he's got one. We had to wait for that to clear.
When you call, you know you're gonna call Ronnie, right? Before the main.
Why don't you do it?
Okay, I'll do it. Cause
I mean,
Driving the number 3 car from Troy, Ohio, sponsored by Cam Motors, Associated, Novak, and TRC, your current IFMAR World Champion, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Dosek. From Campbell, California, driving Trinity, Kyosho, TRC, Composite Craft, Team Losi, Tican, Magic Motorsports, and Technocraft, ladies and gentlemen, the number 2 qualifier, Joel Magic Johnson. And from Fountain Valley, California, driving for Associated, Reedy, Novak, Airtronics, Oakley, ProStar, and RC Performance Specialties, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your 1991 top qualifier, the Buggy Master, Cliff Lex. What happened to jeans burlesque, Cliff? Oh, in Detroit, they dropped you. Okay. Okay, pit crew and turn marshal, let's start showing some activity down here. Fire them up, make sure they do work. Pit crew, you'll have to stand against the tower wall. Turn marshals, you get to stand in front of the cameraman. You are more important than those cameras out there, but make sure that the cameras are protected, guys. All right, can we put the cars down, please? Turn marshals in position. Yeah, they do go forward, don't they, guys? We're missing somebody. We're missing. Where's our 6 car? Clean race. We're going to go on the tone. Yeah! All right, level for Joel Johnson. Here we go. All right, Cliff Lex jumps out front with the number 6 car, Tony Neisinger, running in second. He is followed by Terry Rott, the number 5 car. So here's Lex down the front straightaway. The black car of Neisinger running in second. The orange car of Terry Rott running in third. Mike Eben now the number 4 car running in fourth. And Mike Blackstock, the 5 car running in, or excuse me, the 9 car running in fifth. Joel Johnson with trouble in the early going, is trying to pull back up on the pack. But he has got a long way home. All right, 1 minute down, 1 minute down. All right, the blue and orange cars, Cliff Lex. He is your leader. He actually would prefer the track that's a little rougher. Second place, the number 6 car, Tony Neisinger. Fifth place, Terry Rott. Fourth place, Mike Ebert. 13-6 on the last 2 passes for Cliff Lex. All right, well, there's a whole lot of real estate between second and third, and a whole lot of real estate between first and second. So, but this is 12 scale. Samuel rules. 1 minute to go. Cliff Lex leading it. Looks like the spread is about 3 seconds between Tony and Cliff. And about 7 seconds between Tony and Joel. All right, Howard going away. 35 seconds to go, drivers. 35 seconds to go. Joel has gone away. Hey, tell Cliff to take it on the inside. seconds. We're counting down, drivers. And Tony with a bobble on a dot. He's shaking the fuel in that car. 5 seconds. Here comes the buggy master. Time. Finish the lap. You're on. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Let them all finish. Take them around the track, guys. If you can get them around, take them around the track. Cliff, you want to give Joel a push? Get him back to tech. Here he comes. Let's get him to tech. Let's get him to tech. All right, let's get Cliff led over here real quickly, please. Cliff, can you come on up? Cliff, can we get you over here? All right, Cliff led. Nice job. How about it?
Boy, that feels really good to win at. I don't have a lot of experience in slow scale, but it feels good to race with all these guys. You guys are really tough. I want to thank Joel for flipping that dot in the second corner. That really made me feel a lot better. And I want to thank Ernie for not throwing my car against the driver's stand.
Cliff's RC12L is virtually stock with Novak's speed control and receiver, reading motor and batteries, and the Atlantic foaming tires.
We'll give him 5 points.
Will be an 18-lap run. 18-lap pass for Garrett. All right. I'll bet a little bit slow. Power of it. Driving the number 3 car from Rock Ledge, Florida. Sponsored Associated Reedy, ProStar, Maxell, Airtronics, and Novak. Please welcome Mr. Bobby Horan. Your number 2 qualifier from, this is true, from Christmas, Florida, driving for Composite Craft, TRC, Trinity, Novak, and Futaba, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andy Dobson. And your top qualifier for the 1991 1/10 Modified National Championship from Campbell, California, sponsored by Trinity, TRC, Composite Craft, Tekin, Team Losi, Kyosho, Magic Motorsports, and Technicraft. Please give a warm welcome for Mr. Joel Magic Johnson. All right, let's put him down and let's go racing. I want to get everybody out here real quick before we start this one. Andy, please step to the middle of the track for me, please. Get in the middle.
Mark, you still see your car? Don't lay down, we need to put a jump up.
Marshall's heads up.
Come on. Let's go. How about in the sweeper?
Derek Bertani's down there in sweeper. Mr. Hickman, can you spread it out down there in the sweeper also? Marshals, we need your undivided attention, please.
Get some more turn marshals in the sweeper.
Another turn marshal and sweeper down there, please. Down there by the Team Losi Andy sign? All right, thank you, Frank. We've got turn marshals. We've got Stumpy. Drivers, pay a little attention. JT. All right. Clear the area, please. Drivers, we will go.
Wait.
Trying to get an entry. All right, drivers, we will go on the tone. Good luck. All right, they jump it out quick. All right, it's Joel Johnson and Cliff Lett jumping it out. All right, Joel Johnson, the number 1 car, gets it out first with Cliff Lett, the number 4 car, who just about trifles it, puts it up on 2 wheels. Ron Rossetti, the number 7 car, and he is hammered. Joel Johnson, steady as she goes out front. Cliff Lett running in second, the number 4 car. So it's 1 and 4, and Ron Rossetti running at 3 with, let's pick up who that is on the back of him. I believe it's Mike Blackstock. No, there's been a change. We'll check it. Blackstock with new colors. And Blackstock doesn't get by Rossetti on that pass, but boy, he sure is motoring all over him.
That's Howard right behind them, John.
Blackstock now moving up with Rossetti. Whoa! Man! And
That's Howard in the 4th place.
all right, so it's 1, 4, 7, 6, and 8. That's Johnson, Lett, Rossetti, Howard, and Blackstock. And drivers, you're at 120 down. 120 down. All right, Howard with a pass on Rossetti through the sweeper. Rossetti is dropped back to 4th. Howard out looking for Cliff Lett. Howard in the 6th car, Lett in the 4 car. Joel Johnson in the number 1 car. And he is starting to come up on back traffic. That is Chris Dosick in the 9 car at this point. Drivers, you're 145 down. This is the Roar 1991 10-Scale National Championship.
Come on, Ronnie. Come on, Ron.
All right, Joel Johnson out all alone in the number 1 car. Cliff Lett looking for him. Halfway, drivers, you are halfway. 1, 4, 6, and 7 in that order. Johnson, Lett, Howard, and Rossetti with Mike Blackstock, the number 8 car, picking up the 5th spot. And Mark Favitas, the number 10 car, running in 6th. All right, so Joel actually running clean, probably trying to stay out of traffic, keeping Lett back just enough. As we come up on the 230 mark, Rick Howard now trying to close in on Cliff Lett. Cars 4 and 6, and we've got trouble. All right, Moran back underway as Joel is on the back of the 3 car. That's your leader, the number 1 car, Joel Magic Johnson, and he has got a whole lot of traffic in front of him as Howard is trying to gun down Cliff Lett. All right, so Lett still in second, Howard in 3rd, Joel Johnson, the number 1 car, trying to motor away. A whole bunch of traffic in front of him, and we have less than a minute remaining, drivers. Less than 1 minute remaining. All right, so Joel Johnson with a 9-second lead over the 2nd place car, and he has got a whole ton of traffic that I don't know if he is trying to pass and not deal with. 30 seconds to go, drivers, 30 seconds to go. All right, so Howard trying to get by Cliff. Howard on the outside, what's that? Oh! And the buggy master rejects it. 15 seconds to go. Joel Johnson working his way through traffic. Cliff trying to hold off Howard. 10 seconds. They're going to go 1 more. Joel gets through traffic past the rack. Second, Mike Blackstock moves up to 3rd. Rick Howard will drop you all the way down to 6th. All right, let us sort this one out. Take it a minute.
Derek Arita did a great article on our new RC10T truck in RC model cars. The RC10T's new steering design includes a built-in servo saver that eliminates bump steer and the need for a servo saver on the servo itself. The RC10T's front end geometry has been newly designed with front A-arms that employ a triangular configuration for added strength. The overall wheelbase of the truck has been extended and front shocks are closer together and mount to the top of the chassis, thereby eliminating the need for holes. The clean design makes it easy to work on the new truck, which is basically the same as the popular RC10 buggy, except for the larger arms and longer shocks. The basic chassis color is black, but there are optional colors available in 5 other colors. The clean, open design of the RC10T truck is great for the racer. Thank you, Derek. It was time for another IFMAR Off-Road World Championships, this time in Detroit, Michigan, and run by the Semrock Club, who did a great job. Masaki and Masami Hirosaka were odds-on favorites to win another World Championship after winning both classes in Australia. They're a tough team. The top 2 drivers from England, Craig Drescher left and Rory Cole. Craig won the British Championships while Rory took second. Craig then went on to win the European Championships. Mike Reedy was kept busy servicing the team motors, and he also got some help from Chris Dosick. Butch Clover and Cliff Lett busy working on their cars. Cliff used the same Moo paint job that he made so popular on his RC10T, so why not on his RC10 buggy too? Cliff's girlfriend, Nina, had to be the top cheerleader for Team Moo. Here is actually called the whoops part of the track. Just when you think you're on the easy part of the whoops, you get bitten hard. There is no line to drive that will guarantee you that you will get down the straightaway without saying whoops or something to that effect. And in every driver's 4-minute run, he will get bitten on the whoops section at least 4 times or more. No driver tamed the whoops. On the first day of practice, I decided to drive down to Birmingham to see if what I heard about the Roar office was true. In the past, all of the Roar officials worked out of their homes. But this now changed. I looked at the registration list in the lobby, and everyone was lawyers or other professional type businesses. I thought I was in the wrong place. But there was Roar. Nothing is too good for Thawley, as long as he's spending Roar's, your money. Remember, he's basically only a secretary, not even the president of Roar. But he even has his own secretary when he's away, which is half the time. Remember, this is not an ordinary office, but a lawyer's type office with all the very best of office equipment, paid by you, of course. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Thawley was at the track running the World Championship event, of course, but his secretary was very cordial. But my blood was boiling over as I was learning more of what was going on. After the first day of practice, Cliff came over to me and said, "Gene, we have a problem." I said, "What's the problem?" And he said, "We'll never get our all-new World's car tuned in time." So I said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "We should have a group of drivers testing springs and shocks, and another group testing tires, and another group testing motors, because too much power can really hurt on the whoops." So I said, "Okay, we'll meet outside on the green entranceway in 15 minutes. I'll go tell all the drivers." So when we were all there, Cliff told them what he wanted to do, and then I asked for volunteers for each specific category that they would like to work on. With a whole brand new car, this was a great way to get us up to speed, and it worked out very good, as you'll see. Good thinking, Cliff.
A is an animal. We're going to check. Once again. A is an animal. Get the starting grid.
Busted! The Trinity Losi group had a special air-conditioned trailer that no one was allowed in unless they were a member of the team. To enforce this rule, Trinity hired a local bodybuilder, Tony, to sit outside the door for the whole week to make sure no one entered the trailer without a special Trinity Losi badge. The associated pits were in the tent right next to the trailer where Tony was sitting every day. There was some good-natured kidding going on between Tony and the associated group, especially with Butch Clover and Cliff Lett. Tony enjoyed the ribbing because we were the only ones around he could talk to, and besides, it kept him from falling asleep in his chair. One day we noticed the chair was empty and Tony was nowhere in sight. It was a golden opportunity. We summoned our two top stealth secret agents to infiltrate the Team Losi compound and find out what was going on inside. Masami Hirosaka and Brian Kinwald were on a mission to find out the answer to the big question. Did they have ice cream in their refrigerator as they claimed or not? The two smallest stealth agents circled the compound under the cover of bright sunlight, got to the door without being discovered, opened the door, and stared into the dark interior, when suddenly there loomed Tony the Terror. Tony grabbed them both by the neck and pulled them into the trailers as hostages. We didn't know what to do. Then a negotiating team came out of the trailer and over to our pits. They wanted to negotiate an exchange of hostages. After a couple hours of tense negotiations, we finally agreed to exchange Ernie, who we had previously abducted when he wandered into our pits, in exchange for our secret agents. But this wasn't enough. Their side wanted Tony's girlfriend released too. She was a 10. But after some give and take, these guys were tough negotiators. We finally convinced them to take Ernie along with Tony's girlfriend in exchange for Brian and Masami. They finally agreed, and an exchange of hostages was conducted under the auspices of the International Red Cross, Detroit Division. When our agents were returned, we asked them how they were treated. They said they were under continuous torture the whole time. But the ice cream on their faces told a different story.
Win last check. All week?
Great, great. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Everything looked very good. Everything very good. I think maybe noise. Doggone noise. Okay, thank you. Yes, I need to join this. Somebody mentioned these axles. I guess Brian. Did you mention it? That's what I thought you said. No, I never said it. You didn't come up and ask me about the second. Did that mean necessarily special axles as well? I wasn't going to say no. Not in my side. I thought that was also set out for Chris's truck. I think there might be a different truck with Betty Dickerson. That's all I said. But you just spread it for everybody. So Vito comes to me.
Good friend Masami Hirosaka. And
How about Brian's motor?
he has promised that if we sell enough souvenir t-shirts, Ocean,
Ernie's not mad. Rather be mild than out of control. Do you want me to get scissors from Kentucky?
No. From Massachusetts to get your name on this. Okay. That's what you promoted. I thought I missed you. Oh, the back. You get that back.
Wait.
I'm taking the whole thing. Yep, take the whole thing. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. You send it second day, or you get it to our house, we'll pay for it. You know, we'll so we got all set at 8.
I don't know.
Sit down, move around. Take 1.5 hours in the restaurant. Beautiful food, very nice. If you get time, it's a good place to go.
よかったね。
かろうじて。
こんな縁起を担いでね。 何秒でなった？さっきの最高ラップ何秒やった？
These are your top 10 qualifiers for the 1991 Off-Road IFMAR World Championships. Driving the number 10 car from Stuttgart, Germany, driving for LRP, Schumacher, and KO Propo, your number 10 car and driver, Mr. Jürgen Rottenbach. Your number 2 qualifier and current leader after 2 rounds from Riverside, California, USA, driving for Losi, Trinity, Novak, Magic Motorsports, Jammin' Products, and KO Propo, ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Reed. And your number 1 top qualifier for the 1991 IFMAR World Championships, your defending 2-wheel drive off-road world champion from Tokyo, Japan, sponsored by Yokomo, Associated Reedy, KO Propo, and Novak. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Masami Hirosaka. 30 seconds, clear the grid. All photographers back to the fence, please. All spectators on the other side of the chain, please do not sit on the chain. Please do not sit on the chain, be on the other side of it. All track workers back except for corner marshals. Everyone, please cooperate so the referees can see. This is the 3rd and final round of our A-Main for the 2-wheel drive IFMAR World Championships. Drivers, we will go on the tone. All right, pile up in the first corner. All right. Masami out front. Looks like Velo in second. Kyle Reed running in third. This is it. It's going down to the 3rd round. This is no mistakes racing, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Kyle Reed showing some horsepower on the straightaway up on the back of Velo. Masami, meanwhile, out front. All cars counting.
Come on!
All right, Masami straight ahead. Velo and Kyle Reed dicing it out for that 2nd position. Kyle being very careful, looking on the inside. Velo keeps the door closed. Kyle looking for an inside move on Velo. Velo doing a good job of keeping the door closed. Masami just motoring. All right, here they come down the staircase. The battle is for 2nd place. All right, we're not sure of the standings. Nobody can add that fast, but Kyle may win this with a 3rd, but he definitely needs a 2nd or a win. Minute and a half, drivers, a minute and a half. Kyle and Velo putting on a show. Masami just trying to stay clean, no mistakes. And we are a minute and 45 down. How about it, spectators? Pretty exciting stuff, huh? This is IFMAR World Championship Racing at its finest. These guys have worked real hard coming to this point. And Kyle tangles with Velo. And they are going to have to go racing. All right. And now Pavina's pulling up for a look.
I believe that's Pavitas. We'll check that. No, I think that's Kevin Moore. Kevin Moore pulling up. All right, meanwhile, Masami got green lights. Masami with the green lights. And Kyle on his lid. All right, this one is going to go down to the wire. Hirosaka out front, turning 25.7. Velo with a 25.5. Kevin Moore, 25.6. Kyle with a bobble and 28.7. A lot of racing left. If we have just passed the halfway mark, we have just passed the halfway mark. Three minutes, drivers, 3 minutes. Masami Hirosaka out front. Rick Velo running in second in the 3 car. Kevin Moore in the 7 Schumacher car running in third. Kyle Reed in the Lucy car running fourth. Masami Hirosaka, prototype RC10, out front, followed by Velo in the same car running in second. And it's a race to the wire. You are going to have to wait around for the totals on this one, folks. Velo trying to gun down Masami. Doesn't look like anyone with a major advantage. Masami's last pass was a 28. Velo, Moore, and Reed all went 25. Reed with the advantage of a 25.15. Quickest car out on the track. Coming up on the 4-minute mark, 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go in this IFMAR final. Masami through the surfs up section, playing it cool. Velo trying to close the gap. Kyle Reed closing up on Kevin Moore. 4:15, 45 seconds, 45 seconds. All right, careful, Marshall. All right, every position counts for these guys. They are getting points based on position. It all counts. 4:40, 4:40, 20 seconds go. They will probably all go one more. All right, they tangle over the jump. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Time, finish the lap you're on. They will come around. 4, you are done. 4, you are done. All right. These cars get all picked up by Semrock officials, please. Semrock officials, pick up the cars. Waiting for Jürgen Lautenbach to finish. Okay, all cars are finished. Masami, 12
here. And was fast all weekend. Put on a show in qualifying today. Kyle Reed. Whoa, got the shades on. Known Kyle since he was racing at about 14, I think it is. He's really growing into a young man. Aww.
Good man.
Congratulations, Kyle.
You can give her a kiss. Hey!
Okay, second place position. This is second A main. He's made it World Championships. Looks like he's moving up. Every time he gets out there, from the United States of America, Rick Palo. These guys have been racing hard all day. They don't seem to want to run up here.
Please, no flashes. No flashes, please.
Okay, and the world champion in two-wheel drive. 4 titles now. Is world champion? 5. 5? 5, all right. 4 in off-road and 1 in 12 scale. Masami Hirosaka. Okay, we're now going to present the trophies here for a photo session. These trophies will actually be given away at the banquet tonight. I think they did a beautiful job selecting the trophies. Let's give them a round of applause. And watch out, Masami's going to go to work. Have fun.
You can do it. It's yours. Do what you like with it.
Oh, just a second. Oh, Japanese national anthem, please.
Congratulations to all you guys. Masami Hirosaka from Japan wins yet another World Championship, making this number 5 and confirming yet again he is the best driver in the world. Congratulations, Masami. Masami's stealth prototype RC-10 car was the same as our A-team ran, with longer front shocks mounted behind the shock towers. This stealth prototype RC-10 car obviously ran quite well at the Worlds, but when we got home and tested it against our normal production RC-10 on 3 different tracks, it wasn't any faster than our production RC-10. So we didn't make this prototype RC-10 for production. But now you're going to get an insider's view of this World Championship winning car. And now it was time to see how the 4-wheel drive cars did on the infamous Whoops section. This was indeed a World Championship caliber track.
I used last time I used soft tire. Less and scratch. Less.
30 seconds, clear the grid. Clear the track lead.
Differential. 誰のペップ次がクリアこれで
どうでしょう。You can't allow geniuses to race. Not fair for boneheads only.
Good thing you can say that, Ron. You could qualify for that class.
Anything about that, Gene? Roger's got a proposal to only allow boneheads to compete in this racing.
We all look like boneheads out there, I think.
No geniuses. No geniuses.
That's how we told Roger he's got it licked, no problem.
No problem. He's ready to TQ.
Yeah, he can stay in.
You think I've been insulted?
Have you been insulted there somewhere along the line?
You think about this. You want real boneheads, so it may take a while so you can figure out if I've been insulted.
And now the final four-wheel drive A main.
We will go on the toe. All right, they jump out early. We'll see what happens here. Masami gets the hole shot. Jack Johnson all over the back of him. Oh, and Johnson gets the worst of it on his lid. And there's a pileup at the top of the hill, and they get it straightened out. Oh, and Jack Johnson not getting a break out of that one. Meanwhile, Masami Hirosaka has got the hammer down, and he is gone. All right, first one over the stripe, the number 1 car, Masami Hirosaka, followed by Mike Dunn, the number 6 car, Cliff Leck, Kevin Moore, the 9 car, Chris Moore, the 3 car, Joe Johnson in the 5 car, and we are 1 lap down to the World Championships. And now we've got a mess going up the hill, and that will cost somebody. The 3 car, I believe Chris Moore having problems. And now, here comes Masami for lap 2. Lap 2 over the stripe. Mike Dunn, the 7 car, running in 2nd. Cliff Leck, the 6 car, running in 3rd. And Leck tries to put an inside move on Dunn, and Dunn yields. Dunn gives it up for Leck, so Leck out looking for Hirosaka. And Cliff Leck putting the power down through the roof. And now a big thrashing crowd at the back of the pack. Joel Johnson makes the move through. We'll see as they come over the stripe. Masami now doing a beautiful job as he comes up through the S's, up the hill, down the staircase. It's Cliff Lett right behind him. Masami with a 25.16 on the last pass. Cliff Lett with a 24.71. All right, marshals, please keep an eye on your corners. All right, Lett closes up a little bit on Masami. Masami with a 26.36. Lett 24.89 on the last pass. Lett picking his way through the surf section and really pulls up on the back of Masami now. 2 minutes down, drivers. 2 minutes down, excuse me. Masami Hirosaka, the number 1 car. Cliff Lett, the 6 car. Mike Dunn, the 7 car. Those are your front 3 runners. Lett pulling up for a look. Masami putting it down, heading up the hill. 2 wheels it a little bit. Comes into the surf section, taking a slightly different line than he was taking last weekend. All right, Mike Dunn ends up a little bit on the lid again, and he is on his lid in the corners. Be careful. Gets them cleared out of the way. Now it's all Masami and Lett. Lett pulls up. Oh, David, he is all over the back. And Masami goes through. Cliff Lett goes on by. I don't believe it. All right, 245. Cliff Lett out front. Masami Hirosaka running in 2nd. And a pile up at the back. And they are rolling all over through the surf section as they are trying to pick up the bones at the back of the pack, as Lett and Masami are just on the hammers. All right, Masami now looking at the back of Lett. Here they come through the surf section. Oh, Masami! Masami absolutely jams it through. Cliff Lett gathers it back up, and we are 3:20 into this one.
Wheel lock. Throw him down. Oh, shoot.
All right, Lett by him again. Masami on the back of him. Cliff Lett can win this with a second place. Cliff Lett can win this with a second place, but he is going for the win. So it's Lett Hirosaka switching it through the surf section. How about this racing? Make some noise. Give a round of applause. These are world champions going at it hard. All right, Lett up the hill. Masami coming down after him. 30 seconds to go, drivers. 30 seconds to go. And Cliff Lett on the lid. Masami Hirosaka breaks it out. 20 seconds, drivers. 20 seconds. Time has expired. Finish the lap you're on. Here they come down the straightaway. Take the tires to the exit grid. Take the tires to the exit grid, please. Everybody finish your lap. Take the cars to the exit grid. Semrock officials, take the cars in. Let all the cars finish. Okay. Joel Johnson with a third place.
Wiener did that. Wiener.
Brian's glasses. I got like 6 inches of dirt.
Can I get all the track workers real quick? All the track workers real quick in front of the driver's stand. All the Semrock track workers, come on up in front of the driver's stand real quick, please.
Maybe you up here.
Hey Gene, watch it, 'cause I'm gonna grab.
Okay. Okay.
Ready, line up.
Okay.
Need all the Semrock track workers in front of the driver's stand real quick.
Oh, champion! This guy. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go!
Now at least you'll look good in the Jim Halsey to the scoring room, please. Jim Halsey to the scoring room.
Okay, we have all the track workers here right in front of the driver's
Hey, thanks, guys.
Your hands up, man. The racers. I want to thank them for the job they done. It's only halfway through, so you got a lot of work, and I think you deserve a round of applause being out there every heat, taking care of that track. I think the racers ought to give them a round of applause. Keep them working hard. They're trying the damage. Okay, thank you.
Funny, huh?
Congratulations to Cliff Lett for winning the four-wheel drive World Championships, and to Masami Hirosaka for taking second place, and Jack Johnson for taking third.
Okay, let it rip, Cliff. Masami's not happy about this.
Wait a minute. You're me.
Stay on the podium, guys. Stay on the podium, guys. Okay, even though we're going to take these back, I found a gorgeous young lady that would like to present you guys with your trophies. The tallest one is the winner. Here are your awards as 1991 IFMAR World Champions and runners-up. Cliff Lett.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson. How about a round of applause? How about a round of applause for Donna? She missed all the 8 lanes and ran across town to make sure these were here on time and got stuck in traffic. Big round of applause for Donna.
Congratulations to all you guys. In my office at Associated, I had 8 by 12 inch photos of all of our Associated team World Championship winning drivers. After the Worlds, Cliff gave me this 12 inch by 18 inch framed photo with this inscription, "Gene, thanks for supporting me and having so much confidence in me throughout the years. 1991 IFMAR World Champion, Cliff Lett." I know he didn't win a World Championship with one of our cars, but I was so happy for him to be able to win a World Championship that I put his photo up on my wall too, and it was there for 10 years until I retired. Competition Plus magazine did a great cover with World Champion Masami Hirosaka, winner of the 2-wheel drive class, and Cliff Lett, winner of the 4-wheel drive class. Radio Race Car magazine in England showed Masami and second place Rick Velo and third place Kyle Reed. Way to go, Radio Race Car. When I hooked up with my local racetrack, I got hooked on racing. Cliff Lett. A great ad for our hobby, Horizon. Wow, what an action cover from RC Car Action magazine, showing Masami's car upside down and wheel-to-wheel racing and stating, "World Champs, Lett and Hirosaka clean up," and a stealth car sneak peek. All right. And model cars from England also featured the world champions on their cover. RC News featured 2-wheel drive winner Masami and second place Rick Velo, and in the yellow lettering it says, "Hirosaka and Lett reign supreme." And that's true. It's time for more Roar business. Roy Wiest, our new president, was having all kinds of problems from John Thawley and our former president Eric Gudger. Thawley wouldn't do anything that Roy asked him to do, and he was getting very frustrated, and he told me he was ready to resign. That would have totally destroyed Roar. So I told Roy that I would run for Roar vice president and I would do all of the hard work that he couldn't handle. So he said he'd stay on to see how the election came out. And then he went out and fired John Thawley. Yeah. The following is about half of my resume pertaining to me running for Roar vice president. Gene Husting, nominee for vice president, background and qualifications. I have been a Roar member for 20 years and have served Roar as a Region 6 California director, and I have also served Roar on many committees, including 1/8, 1/12, and 1/10 rules committees. I have also helped Roar on a Roar IFMAR committee. I was also on a Roar financial committee, which was discontinued by the former president. I would like to publicly state I do not have any desires whatsoever to become Roar president. I simply do not have the time to do that job correctly. You also need to know that the Roar vice president does not have any voting rights. Then why do I want to do it? Simply because the Roar president, Roy Wiest, needs help, not just from me, but from everyone. As of this date, there have been 3 issues of Rev Up printed. I've been fortunate enough to have received 2 of the 3. I can say fortunate because at an unofficial Roar meeting at the 1/8 Gas Nationals, hosted by Jeff Bronstein, out of the approximately 50 Roar members present, 50% of the members only received 1 of the first 2 issues. 50%. That's terrible. It's bad enough that there's only 3 issues of Rev Up a year now instead of 6, and then when you don't even get all 3, that's totally unacceptable. When my wife Midge was editor and publisher of Rev Up for 6 years, she built it up from a 48-page black and white magazine to 96 pages with 30% of it in color. And for those 6 years, there were 6 issues each year, and they were on time. It goes on. There's much more, but I won't read all of that. Thank God for Lou Peralta at RC News Magazine. He kept the fire on with another 3 pages of what's happening in Roar. Can you believe that the members voted in Roy Wiest as president, but then the Roar Executive Committee voided the election and held a second presidential election, and Roy won again? It only gets more unbelievable all the time. And talk about unbelievable, this is from page 2. This letter to our president, Roy Wiest, is telling our president that we just voted in twice that they're now going to fire him. Does this get weird or what? Lou Peralta was also helpful enough to publish a 2-page letter that I sent all the Roar regional directors, but it's too long to read here. The important thing is that when it came time to vote, they did the right thing. Thank you, guys. My article this month in RC Model Cars magazine was on the 1991 IFMAR 1/8 scale gas on-road world championships, which was held in Austin, Texas. 25 countries from around the world were represented here. Mike Coiler and the RC Car Club of Austin deserve a great deal of thanks for the tremendous job they did in running this event. Luckily, the contestants got to pit under this freeway overpass, so the 90-degree weather wasn't too bad. The shade was also welcome to the spectators, too. Arturo Carbonell, a former world champion, is working on his Pico car with a lot of help from fans. Gary Culver got married, but it didn't slow him down. He married Debbie Preston, who happens to be the fastest woman driver in the world. They are both from England and have a baby girl that commands most of their attention. Debbie still pits for Gary, however. Do you think they ever have any good-natured conversations about who is really the fastest driver between them? I wouldn't bet against it. And I'd pick Debbie. As Debbie is the fastest woman driver in the world, Lamberto Collari won the last World Championship and would have to be considered as the fastest driver in the world right now. What I've learned in asking a lot of the questions is that Lamberto and his father is a European version of Ralph Birch and Ron Paris. Lamberto is certainly a world-class champion driver, but Lamberto will also tell you that his father can make more horsepower out of his top engines than anyone else. A potent combination. But it was Ralph Birch who was the first driver to turn 37 laps in qualifying. In the last round, it was Lamberto who took top qualifier honors by just beating Ralph's time by a few seconds. It was going to be a good main. The final main event. The horn sounded and everyone got off to a good start. It was soon evident who had the fastest cars. Colari, with Birch 2 feet behind, were steadily pulling away from the field. Birch was just sitting there waiting for Colari to make a mistake, but Colari doesn't make many mistakes. But then at the 2-minute mark, Colari went a little wide going onto the sweeper, starting the straightaway, and Birch tucked inside to take the lead. The bleacher crowd went wild. A Texan took the lead in Texas at the World Championships. Wow! Birch slowly started pulling away from Colari, while the two of them now had a straightaway lead over the rest of the field. Birch continued to open up a 50-foot lead. Birch was going to have to pit every 4 minutes, while Colari was pitting every 5 minutes. So Birch was going to have to open up a lead just to stay even. At 4 minutes, Birch pulled in for fuel and Colari went by to take the lead. Birch pulled right out behind Colari, but Birch must have gotten some fuel on his tires. He spun out in the first corner and then hit a dot in the next corner and rolled over. Colari now had over a straightaway lead on Birch, with Mike Swagler in third, Butch Klober in fourth, and Albert Pico in fifth. Colari pitted at 5 minutes and Birch gained half the distance, but he still had almost a straightaway to go. Slowly but surely Birch was closing in on Colari again, a little at a time, lap after lap. He finally caught Colari again and passed him at exactly the same spot as before, but he got a little sideways starting the straightaway and Colari inched by to retake the lead. At 8 minutes, Birch followed right behind him, but then had to pull into the pits for fuel again. The order was now Colari, Birch, then half a lap back, Klober, Swagger, Pico, and Salvin in a freight train together. Colari pitted at 10 minutes, and Birch moved up behind him again. Birch was closing in, but then at the 11-minute mark, Birch ran out of fuel, just at the start of the pit lane. Apparently he didn't get a full tank before. This dropped him half a lap behind Colari, but there was still 45 minutes to go. Then a couple laps later, Birch lost a steering servo. His famous World Championship bad luck hit him again. Colari now had a lap lead over Klober, but right after this Klober cut the sweeper a little too close, and a fire hose grabbed his rear wheel and pulled it off, and the car sat still on the far side of the track. Swagger moved into second, but a couple minutes later one of the rings came off his front tire, and he had to make a pit stop. Congratulations to all you guys. And all European top three, with Lamberto Colari in the middle from Italy, winning the World Championship, and on the left, Massimo Fantini from Italy taking second spot, and with Michael Salvin from Germany finishing third. Congratulations, guys, on a great race. My article this month in RC Model Cars magazine was on the 1991 Roar 1/8 Gas Nationals. The Tri-State RC Auto Racers Club of Cincinnati were the host club for this Gas Nationals. This is only part of the entries. This beautiful concourse car was entered in concourse by Jeff Brownstein. Some guys just moved part of the garage over to the track. Pretty cool. Ron Paris with the ever-present group of spectators asking questions. Main event day, you true tires, mount a new body, plaster it with decals, and then sit around bench racing until it's your turn to run, as Mark Blackheader, Chuck Moon, Richard Elizer, Mike Swagger, and Ralph Birch are doing. This PB car is made in England, and it's quite a good car. The world champion winning BMT car in all of its colorful glory. One of the latest Serpent cars with lay-down front shocks. Art Carbonell is now a happy camper again. It's taken him over a year to get his Pico car up to speed. Somebody wore their tires right down to the rims, and if you look at the track, it looks like rough sandpaper, and that's telling you why. The four-wheel drive A main. The drivers were giving a 5-minute practice period, the car shut down, the drivers introduced to the crowd, then another 5-minute practice, and then the cars were lined up in Le Mans order in a sweeper. The green flag waved, and Birch immediately spun out in some fuel. Mike Swagger jumped in the lead, with Birch in close pursuit, followed by Arturo Carbonell. It took Birch a few laps, then he was right on Swagger's rear bumper, and Mike moved over and let Ralph by. Ralph slowly started pulling out a lead. Swagger pitted, and Carbonell went into second. Then Art had to pit, and Mike went back into second. No one was gaining or losing any time in the pits. Birch continued to pull away, while Mike and Art had a great race going for second. They both seemed to be as evenly matched as possible. There was now about a straightaway distance between Birch and the two cars of Mike and Art, and then another straightaway distance to the rest of the field. The position stayed that way for the next 25 minutes. Lap by lap, Birch was passing cars. He finally lapped Art, and then Mike, to put the whole field one lap down. Mike was pitting at 4.5 minutes, and Art was pitting at 5 minutes. Mike was able to stay in front of Art until he had to make that extra pit stop, and Art took over second. Mike immediately closed the gap, but couldn't quite get around Art. Meanwhile, with 3 minutes to go, Birch pulled into the pits and said he needed more brakes. But Paris sent him back out saying there was nothing he could do. A couple of laps later, he was back in the pits, again asking for more brakes. The problem wasn't brakes. He had worn all the rubber off the front wheels, and he simply had no steering. Art and Swagger went by Birch, dropping Birch to third. Although Mike caught Art, he couldn't get by because he too had run out of tires. He had sparks flying all around the track. His whole chassis was sanded off the bottom. Art went by to take the win, with Mike less than 1 second behind, and Birch now 5 laps back, taking third. The last 5 minutes of this race was the most exciting finish that I've seen in a long time. Congratulations to all 3 drivers, and especially Art. Congratulations to all you guys. The yellow car of Mike Swagger took second in the main, and the number 1 car of Ralph Birch wore out his tires and finished third. Art Carbonell had to wait quite a while to win another big race, but he did it. Congratulations, Arturo. The 1991 Roar Monster Truck Nationals were held by the Core Car Club of Columbus, Ohio, with Bud Bartos of Bud's Racing Products sponsoring the event. Truck racing is growing at such a fast rate that they've long ago surpassed the four-wheel drive class in popularity and now are on a par with two-wheel drive. There's a number of reasons why trucks are so popular. They're bigger, so they're easier to see. The larger tires and wider tread width make it much easier for the average driver to go much faster. They're a whole lot easier to build and maintain, and they cost a lot less than four-wheel drive. All around the country now, two-wheel drive and trucks make up 98% of the racing. You simply get the most fun for your money and time with trucks. There was a very large pit area, and on the first day at the track for practice, we noticed this big brown cloud overhead that got darker every day. It was the dust coming up from the track, and we were breathing it all day long, with our throats getting more sore every day. They couldn't water the track because it became slippery. Finally, one of us city boys asked the question to another city boy, "What is that dirt? It doesn't look like anything we've ever seen." We had our suspicions, what with the aroma coming from it and the hay in it, but we were hoping we were wrong. So I asked one of the club members what they called this dirt. He said, "Well, it's kind of a compost. You know, they have livestock exhibits in here, so the dirt gets mixed with some meadow muffins and road apples. You city boys will have to figure out what those are." Then he said, "How do you like the track? This is not where our club races, but we have a great outdoors track. We're having this race in here in case of rain." "It's a great track," I said. "A nice facility, and your club is doing a fine job running the race. We were just wondering about the brown cloud." "Yeah, I know," he replied. Cliff's working on a tedious job of cutting off the spikes on the tires. Cliff TQ'd with his RC10T truck, which uses Reedy motors and batteries, Airtronics radio, and a Novak speed control. Young Brian Kinwald is already running with the big boys. 1/12th world champion Chris Dosek is here with Mr. Cam Motors Tate McDaniels to join in on the fun of running trucks. Chris believes in supporting his sponsor. I think it looks cool. Losey's new prototype truck is running quite well. The modified A main. When the horn sounded, Rick Horde shot in the lead, with Cliff Lett following in second, and J.D. Beckwith and Brian Kinwald following side by side. Cliff had a little more speed in the sweeper, caught Horde's rear tire, sending Cliff to the outside wall and Horde to the inside wall. J.D. then took over the lead, and somehow Jack Johnson, starting from the 9th position on the grid, managed to pass everyone else at the start and moved into second place. When it's your day, it's your day. When it's not, it's not. Jack must have been feeling it might be his day. Cliff was now in third, with Kinwald fourth. On the fourth lap, Cliff cut a corner too close, got caught by the hose, and his car went into a dead infield area, and he had to be marshaled out. John Anderson then moved to third with Kinwald fourth. At the 2-minute mark, Johnson cut the corner at the end of the straightaway too tight, got stuck, and Anderson moved into second. Then Beckwith cut a corner too tight, rolled over, and Anderson went into the lead. But Anderson punched it a little too hard, got squirrely, and Beckwith went back into the lead. It began to look like no one wanted to lead. Beckwith then rolled over the small bumps coming off the sweeper, and Johnson took the lead with Anderson second and Beckwith now third. Then Anderson got stuck in the hose at the end of the straightaway, and Beckwith went back into second. Beckwith was closing on Johnson, while Cliff was closing on Beckwith. Cliff caught Beckwith just as they went up the hill in turn 3, but J.D. slowed more than Cliff, and Cliff bumped J.D., who got stuck in the hose, and Cliff, Kinwald, and Howard went by. While all these guys were bumping into each other or hoses, Johnson was pulling away. On the last lap, Cliff cut the corner too close at the end of the straightaway, got stuck, and Kinwald slowed, and Howard went by into second. Jack Johnson knew it was his day as he took the checkered flag, with Howard, who came from dead last, to take second, with Kinwald third. Cliff then gave his RC-10T truck to the club to be given away to a lucky and happy drawing winner. Losi didn't want to give away one of their prototype trucks, so they awarded a gift certificate to another happy winner. Good for one of their new trucks when it comes out. Congratulations to all you guys for having the crowd cheering during the race. Congratulations to Cliff Lett for taking the top qualifier spot. Young Brian Kinwald is already racing right up there with the fast guys. Congratulations, Brian, for taking third place with your really powered RC-10T truck. In another great performance, Rick Howard took second place with his peak-powered RC-10T truck. Trying to go fast and keep out of trouble was impossible, but Jack Johnson did it best, winning the Nationals with his Losi prototype truck powered by Trinity. My article this month in RC Model Cars magazine was on the 1991 Roar Off-Road Nationals, which were held in Savannah, Georgia, with the track being located in beautiful Lake Meyer Park. The Score Club's track and facilities were among the best I had ever seen. Colonel Phil Hurd and the Score Club ran a flawless Nationals, and even with 442 entries, all events were run on time with no scoring problems. A big thanks must go to the race sponsors, Kyosho, Team Losi, and RC Car Action magazine. The track surface itself is composed of famous Georgia red clay, the same type of surface used at the Florida Winter Championships. This is almost an ideal racing surface because it doesn't change a lot during qualifying, requiring only minimal daily maintenance. Traction was consistently good, but not great. During a break in the racing, a big special delivery box arrived for Team Moo. The box was put in front of the driver's stand, and all Team Moo drivers were called to come and get their package. A big crowd gathered to see what was going on, with everyone trying to guess what was inside. It was 6 feet long and 2 feet square, just large enough for someone to be inside. Cliff Lett was asked to open the box. And when he did, he discovered a bale of hay. The team moo herd had enough chow for the rest of the week. The two-wheel A-main is next.
Performance Novak, RPS, and CRP is Carlos Gonzalez. Second qualifier, running for Team Losi, Mr. John Anderson. Are you ready? Less than 5. And you're off. A-main 205 modified. Here we go, national next. And they get him out. Here they go. Sucking it down inside his car. Number 3, Mr. Kyle Reed. Look at the inside goal. Kyle Reed out the lead in car number 3. Car number 5 is winning second. Brian Kinwell Carlos Gonzalez winning third. Look at these guys go back straightaway after Kyle Reed out in the lead. Brian Kinwell running second, Carlos Gonzalez winning third. Unbelievable, Rick. The action going on. Hold on to your booties. Here comes Kyle Reed, car number 3.
Come on, Brian!
Look at these guys go. Beautiful race going on, back straightaway action. 3, 5, 1 is the way to go. Look at the power in these cars. 24 seconds left for everyone in the race. So car number 3, your leader, 5 seconds. Rick Howard now moving into the third spot. Brian Kimball running second, Kyle Reed the leader. There they go. Here they come by right here. Car number 3, your leader is 5 wins second. Third. Kyle Reed, your leader. Rick Howard winning. And Brian Kimball. Here they come around once again. Kyle Reed, your leader. Here we go. 3, 5, 8, 6. Look at him go. We got a minute, 59 to go. 3 minutes to go. There they are down the back straightaway. And look at that Kyle Reed down the lead. Carl's doing a nice job driving that car. He's holding a good spot there. Brian Kimball sitting in the second spot.
Go, Brian!
Rick Howard holding on to the third spot. Look at these guys loading it up out there. Back to action. Car number 3. Kyle Reed really powering it up. Down the tabletop they come. And a good race going up here on the top. Number 5 and the winner running first place is starting to get interesting. Car number 1 now in third spot. Here they go, back down the road. What a race we got going.
Sweet chick!
Then they come back to the front straight. Kyle Reed still holding on. Brian Kimball pushing real hard. 53 seconds to go, drivers.
Come on, Brian!
Look at these guys rocking and roll out there. Back to the action. Look at that power. And totally out. Brian Kimball will hang it up. There it goes, Brian Kimball hanging it up again. Kyle Reed pushing it real hard.
Cruise it, Kyle!
We're looking at 21 seconds to go, drivers. Kyle Reed, Brian Kimball, Carlos Gonzalez at the leader running. Back straightaway, look at him go. Kyle Reed taking it around. to go. Here it comes by right there. That's tight for the your new national champion. And Paul Reed will clear out for a victory lap right there.
Congratulations to all you guys. Carlos Gonzalez from Washington took the top qualifier honors in the two-wheel drive modified class and finished third in the main. Congratulations, Carlos. Young Bryant Kinwald is starting to come on strong and took a great second place finish. Congratulations, Brian. Kyle Reed won the two-wheel drive modified class. Congratulations, Kyle. The rather easy infield jump had to be taken just right to get your car lined up correctly for the next corner. The four-wheel drive modified A main is up next.
Out of these 10 also will come the 1991 World Off-Road National Four-Wheel Drive Modified Champion. The defending champion from last year will be racing, and he is our TQ here today, running for Associated, Yokomo, Reedy, Novak, Electronic, Oakley, Proline, RCPS, Chairman Products, Team Move, Mr. Cliff Rich.
Come back, Cliff.
Running in the second qualified position, running for Peak Performance, Orion, Associated Kyosho, taking in for Tava, Mr. Rick Howard. First, to get the crew ready to go, Fred Marshals, please be ready to move on this one. The winner of this race will be the 1991 Off-Road National Champion. The best of the best are right here, right now. With score, Savannah Joe. Drivers, are you ready? Less than 5. And they're off. Here we go. A-Main four-wheel drive modified is underway. Big crash in the second turn. And it gets sorted out one more time. Car number 5 is down in the lead. Here they come around. Power down the front straightaway. Car number 5, 7 and 0 is the way to come across for the first lap. John Anderson gets around first, but all these cars are right together. Back straightaway, looks like car number 6 is 5. Off the tabletop they go, car number 5. It's John Anderson right there, he's your leader. Car number 7 running second, and Carlos Gonzalez. Rick Howard running third on the second lap. Hold on here, Moody's. A lot of race action going on here. Car 5 is down in the lead. John Anderson, your leader. Car number 7, Carlos Gonzalez, running second. It's a real tight race here. Car number 3 now, Mike Dunn coming up to the third spot. John Anderson, Carlos Gonzalez, and Mike Dunn on the third lap. Oh, big crash out there. They're going to turn it around. They're coming out once again. Looks like John Anderson's going to hold on to that lead. Car number 3 has moved it up now. Car number 3 is Mike Dunn. He's putting the pressure on the leader. Car number 2 is right there with him. That's Rick Howard. Running around for the fifth lap is car number 3 in the lead. Car number 3 is driven by Mike Dunn. So Mike Dunn is trying to lead. Watching him right there. Car number 5 is running in the second spot. John Anderson. John Anderson runs it over. Car number 2 moving up. And Rick Howard now moves up to the second spot. Carlos Gonzalez moves to the third. And the hill over. Mike Dunn is down in the lead. that back straightaway.
Way to take him out, Carlos.
Car number 7 is Carlos Gonzalez running in the second spot. Third spot is car number 6, Ryan Kimwall. Moves it up to the third spot now. So Mike Dunn out in the lead. Minute 36 seconds to go. 3:76 is the way to running up present. Wheel action down the back straightaway. But car number 3, Mike Dunn, your leader. Car number 7 running second, Carlos Gonzalez.
You got him, dude. Don't worry about it.
And your leader out front, Mike Dunn. What a race you got going. Back straightaway action. That's your leader out there, Mike Dunn. And he is blistering down the back straightaway. Carlos Gonzalez running second. 1 minute to go, drivers. 1 minute to go. Car number 6, Ryan Kimwall running second. Third spot. Mike Dunn, Carlos Gonzalez, Ryan Kimwall.
Congratulations to all you guys. Congratulations to Carlos Gonzalez, who took third place in the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive A mains. Way to go, Carlos! Brian Kinwald also took second place in both the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive A mains. Brian is coming on strong. I'm sorry, but I do not have a photo of Mike Dunn, who won the four-wheel drive class with his race prep powered Kyosho car. We're still running one of my favorite ads. My article this month in RC Model Cars is on the radio-controlled Hobbies Raceway in Costa Mesa, California, which has been the host for the longest-running RC annual race in the country. Every year, the entries are sold out 2 months before the race. One of the reasons this track is so popular is because it is so well maintained. Gary Demery is in charge of the track maintenance, and he does a super job. The track layout is changed every 2 or 3 weeks, so the drivers don't get tired of running on the same track all the time. Races are held every Tuesday and Thursday nights and Saturdays. And now on Sundays, they're starting beginner-only racing, including how-to seminars for the beginners in the morning. This shows the beginners how to put cars together, how to set their radios, whatever they need to do that a beginner has to go through. There are a lot of different categories of racing besides the beginner classes, such as the novice class, and they've just instituted a new over-the-hill gang class for racers 40 and over. It's becoming quite popular too. The RCH Hobby Shop is one of the best RC car hobby shops you'll find anywhere. This race was co-sponsored by Reedy Modifieds, Novak, Airtronics, and Team Losi, and we certainly want to thank them for their support. The Team Losi drivers were entered and were out practicing for the race the previous 2 weeks. But for some unknown reason, they never showed up on race day. You know why Reedy is so happy? He's working on his car that he's going to race. Way to go, Mike. Steve Chamberlain, busy working on his car. It paid off, as you'll see in a little while. Steve's RC10 team car features Reedy motors and Reedy Sanyo batteries and Novak speed control and an Airtronics radio. Brian Kinwald's RC10T truck is basically stock with Reedy motors and Sanyo batteries and a Novak speed control. This is what's known as first class. Wow! The two-wheel drive modified A main. Top qualifier Steve Chamberlain took off in the lead, making it safely through the fast sweeper, but then half the field got tangled up coming off the sweeper. Brent Wallace drove around the pilot to move into second, with Tim Bump third and J.D. Beckwith fourth. It didn't look like that couple months Chamberlain took off of racing hurt him a bit. He was driving perfectly, and it didn't look like anyone was going to be able to catch him. At the 1 minute mark, Wallace went a little too wide in the corner, and both Bump and Beckwith got by. Beckwith and Mark Pavitas got by Bump, but then at the 3.5 minute mark, Pavitas rolled coming off a small jump, and Bump went back into third. All these guys in this main were running about the same speed, so it was hard to pass someone unless they made a mistake. Chamberlain went on to a well-deserved win. Congratulations to all you guys. Tim Bump, shown here with the trophy girl, took third. Congratulations, Tim, and to J.D. Beckwith, who took second place. Congratulations to Steve Chamberlain for winning the two-wheel drive modified A main event. Way to go, Steve! The monster truck modified A main. Jason Foster got the start over Brian Kinwald, but on the second lap, Brian got a better run off the slow sweeper and did a slingshot past Jason on the straightaway to take the lead. For the next 2.5 minutes, it looked like follow the leader, with Kinwald leading, Foster second, Mark Pavitas third, and Carlos Gonzalez fourth. They were all running the same speed in line. Then at the 3 minute mark, Gonzalez rolled and Bob Hoffman went into third, with Steve Chamberlain fourth, followed by Gonzalez. The order stayed that way until the last minute, with Kinwald taking the checkered flag, Foster following in second, and Chamberlain passing Hoffman in the last corner. Congratulations to all you guys. Congratulations to Steve Chamberlain here for taking third place and to Jason Foster for taking second place. Brian Kinwald is now officially one of the fast guys. Congratulations, Brian, and welcome on board. Horizon, this was a great marketing tool. Congratulations. Covers don't get any better than this. Thank you, RC Model Cars, for your great cover of Cliff Lett's truck with the Moo paint job.